Stay Tuned Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of a drunken degenerate watching the National Football League.
And welcome everybody to Stay Tuned Sports as we're getting ready to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Denver Broncos live from Mile High. Oop, got to get rid of Taylor there for a second. I got to find the stream here too for the game as I thought I had it and I do not. Let's see what we got here. Just not on the regular font? Can I not see this? Where is it? Boo. Thought I could watch it. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me pull this up here. Because now I have to pull this up from a different angle, so it's going to be a little bit different and probably a little bit more delayed. Okay. Pull this up. Should have been a little bit more prepared, but when these games get close like that, that's what happens. Nothing you can do about it. Can't be helped. All right, here we go. The kick is away. Jacksonville's going to get it first here. And that's going to be Jacksonville ball near the 30-yard line. Denver wearing all orange, looking just terrible. That is indeed an oof for Minshew. Apparently, Minshew is feared to have torn his ACL as well there for Kansas City. Crafty says, shitty-looking uniforms, never a good sign. Well, we'll see. Trevor, he does a play action, rolls out to his right, throws incomplete. He was getting pressured and molested the entire way. Incomplete, 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars coming up. And this officially clinches Andy Reid's first losing season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Paul says he had his best year as a Colt. Wish we could have kept him, but not for it got too expensive. I agree. That sucks. That sucks. By the way, thank you everybody for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King. As we are watching here, the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Denver Broncos. Trevor Lawrence throws. That's going to be caught. It was a gain of about 6 yards. So 3rd and 4. Trevor Lawrence In shotgun, takes the snap back. He's looking. He tries to pull it down and run it himself. He's going to be sacked for about a yard.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
And the Jaguars have to punt. Yeah, I remember watching that game. Crafty. So we'll see. Youngling Slayer in the chat says, first of many losing seasons, hopefully, for Andy. Apparently not a big Chiefs fan, is Youngling Slayer. Thank you for joining us, Youngling Slayer, in the chat, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in the chat. Like I said, had to jump over here real quick from the last feed. Again, we watched the Giants lose to the Minnesota Vikings and fall to 2-13, keeping their number one spot as the Titans won. So now the Titans have 3 wins on the season. The Giants only have 2, matched only by the Raiders, which will probably stay that way as the Raiders are playing the Texans today. Harvey on first down and 10 for the Broncos. And gets about a 4-yard gain there. Second and 6 upcoming from the 12-yard line. Nix takes the snap in shotgun. Back, looks, throws. Off the hands of Harvey. Incomplete, 3rd and 6. Oh, Youngling said, I just changed my name. Oh, so you're Zach. You're just Youngling. I know. So you're from, I think, Rubber Room, I think. So either way, great to have you, Zach. Youngling Slayer, whatever you want your name to be. Great to see you. He says, I just didn't want YouTube to be my not face. So there you go. Oh, we got a flag. False start on the Broncos. First flag of the game. Two of the most penalized teams here. Jaguars have the most penalties and the second most penalty yards. The Broncos have the second most penalties called, but the most penalty yards. So there you go. So now 3rd and 11 for the Broncos. Back throws. It's going to be caught, but it's going to be well short of the first down 8-yard pass to Troutman. But it's going to be 4th and 3, and the Broncos will have to punt. Oh, I never moved it over to the Broncos. There we go. Crafty in the chat says the Bronc woes. Dad Joe Crafty. He's back in the chat, baby. Let's go. Good old Rubber Room, says Youngling Slayer. He says, you missed a great voice chat last night. I was in here doing the chat. Yeah, it was a great time in here, too. I should have jumped in after the game, but I was so hoarse from after the game. It was crazy. I was just like, oh. Jaguars get the punt. They're going to return it only up to about the 41-yard line, and that is where they will take over again on their second drive of the first quarter. Ooh, Judkins from the Brown confirmed to have a broken fibula and dislocated ankle. Oh, that just screams what happened to Scatabo and what we've seen happen to a couple other players in this league, not just this year, in the last couple of years. So that's terrible. On top of the fact that we know Minshew is feared to have a torn ACL as well. So 2 weeks in a row, a Chiefs quarterback has torn an ACL. Not great. Irish says, so you're saying this game's going to take forever? Also, F the refs. Indeed, F the refs, as the refs have just been awful across the board. the NFL. That Giants game was bad. Some of the other games have been bad. All season they've been bad. That's why I went ahead and made your Fuck the Ref hoodie and T-shirts available right now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. You can find either one of those in either one. Like, again, it's the winter time. It's a little cold. You want a hoodie? There you go. You feeling, though, if you live below the Mason-Dixon, you live in a bit of a warmer climate, or you just want to be able to show that all year long, not just in the winter, but also in the summer, the T-shirt might be for you as well. Fuck the Refs comes with a pre-pixelated fuck on it so that you don't go ahead and get into trouble with any of those pesky obscenity laws. And you'll be able to go ahead and wear that in public with pride. Fuck the Refs. Available over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store at bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. That's bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. Or you just click on the link in the top of the chat or in the description below. Oh, it's not in all messages. Hold on. You're right. You're right. I didn't have live chat on. I did not have live chat on. Youngling Slayer in the chat says, watch, J.J. McCarthy's going to have a broken hand. He's been so injured over the last 2 years. Like, he's just when it seemed like he was starting to get into maybe the swing of things, like, at this point, J.J. McCarthy might have been a swing and a miss for the Vikings. And now you might have to look at what else might we be able to get out there. Thank you, Lloyd. Yeah, I wasn't able to see you. I didn't have the live chat. By the way, if you're joining us in the chat and wanting to come along and chat with us and be part of the community, make sure your chat in YouTube says live chat and not top chat up in the top left corner. Make sure you hit that little drop-down toggle menu and hit live chat instead of top chat. Etienne tries to cut the corner. He's not going to get there. Oh, sorry. That was Oh, no, wait, that was the play. Now they're showing other. Boy, whoever's directing this particular NFL broadcast needs to not do so. Because that was indeed the play, but it looked like they were just playing a replay. Okay, so 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 41-yard line. Lawrence looks, throws. That's going to be caught out of the backfield by Etienne. Only for 2 yards, though. 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Jaguars. I didn't know, because I was talking to Irish because I had the top chat out. So I know Irish is indeed out of YouTube purgatory for whatever reason where they weren't doing that. But you're now in it, Lloyd, for some reason. You were in YouTube purgatory, not Irish. I don't know why. See, apparently somebody's just got to be there all time. So 3rd and 8. Lawrence gets the snap right as the play clock hit 0. And he's going to get sacked for 2 yards. That's the 2nd sack of the game already.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Franklin Myers in on a sack. 4th and 10. Jacksonville is going to have to punt the ball away, and they will. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Broncos at the 13, where the ball goes out of bounds at the 13-yard line. And that is where the Broncos will get it. Youngling Slayer in the chat says, non-football related, but have you been seeing how the Wild have been playing, King? They're kind of becoming a wagon. I mean, when you go ahead and get one of the best talents in the NHL in Quinn Hughes, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. And boy, the Devils started off the season gangbusters. Have we just fallen off like a goddamn rock? And again, goaltending is the issue. Goaltending is a huge issue for the Devils, and neither Markstrom or Allen seem to be the answer. Some games they look great. Most games they look like ass now. So I don't know I don't know what the solution is. If there's a goaltender out there that we can get or even look at for trading for or who anybody would give up. I mean, you're not going to find a good or great goaltender that somebody's just going to want to give up. So it is what it is. So we'll see if we can go ahead and win despite our goaltending. But for right now, the Devils are really struggling after having come out of the gates to start the season, look really, really good. It is what it is. ELS in the chat giving us some news. Of course, we know about the Minshew, fearing that he might have torn his ACL for Gardner Minshew. The Browns, and we know that Junkin has dislocated his ankle and have a fractured fibula. We know that as well. So we've been up to date on that. Thank you, ELS, for helping us out there. Crafty says that YouTube rotates its purgatory members, apparently. I guess so. You were, Lloyd. I wasn't seeing your messages when I had it in Top Chat. So I guess for now you're kind of there. But as long as you hit live chat, you'll be able to see everybody's messages and see what everybody's saying. It's part of the Stay Tuned Sports community. If you're joining us in the chat, and if you are, thank you so very much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports and being part of the Stay Tuned Sports community. If you like any part of this show or any part of this channel, any part, who doesn't like this beautiful face? Come on. Come on. Look at this. Look at this sexy man right here. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let the world know that we exist. That's a big, big help for us. And, of course, if you're here for the first time and have not done so yet, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And hopefully being monetized on this great and lovely platform known as YouTube. If you want to help us out a little bit more directly, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat and in the description below this video. I have consulted with some of the members of the community, and they seem to think that it would be a better idea to go to Patreon as far as the donation station instead of using Buy Me a Coffee. So that might be a change that we make before it probably should have made it at some point during the season, but maybe I'll make it a little bit later on here. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Huge run all the way to the 30-yard line. 16-yard run by McLaughlin. Goes from the 13 to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Broncos. ELS says, I feel very festive right now wearing my ugly Christmas sweater. I saw it from the Christmas card and everything like that. You're a very festive move today. Bo Nix throws. That bounces around. Incomplete. Incomplete pass. Tried to get that to Atkins and was knocked out right at the last minute. 2nd and 10 coming up. ELS letting us know, by the way, the Titans' win today was their first win at home since November 3rd of last year. Holy shit. McLaughlin, that's going to be a 9-yard run off of the left side. That's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up here for the Broncos at their own 38-yard line. Bo Nix tries to do a quarterback sneak and does not make it. That's going to be 4th and 1 for the Broncos. Pecan wants to know if the ugly sweater is a Packers sweater, ELS. I'm sure Lloyd would say any sweater that's a Packers sweater is an ugly sweater. That's much how I feel about Eagle sweaters. 4th and 1. Broncos going to go for it. They do. They hand off here to Harvey, and I don't know if he got there. They're going to say he got there? I don't know about that. Youngling Slayer in the chat says, this is really looking to be like it's the Fraud Bowl. I would like to see, are they going to review this? No. Oh, wait, maybe they are. And the Jaguars are challenging. They're saying, no, he did not make it. Liam Cohen challenging the spot on the field, saying it is not a first down. So we will see what happens when they come back. Checking in on some of the other games. The Steelers-Lions game has not started yet. They are just getting ready for kickoff there. Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. Currently on the Falcons. They're in the desert. ELS sending a link in the chat room showing everybody what his ugly sweater is. His ugly Christmas sweater as he celebrates the season. Looking over at the Twitter machine. All right, so we have that one up there. We have this here. So they say it stands as cold as a first down. I don't know about that, but Broncos get a good call on their end. So the Jaguars lose the challenge and lose a timeout. 2 timeouts now remaining. 1st and 10 coming up here for the Broncos. Nix steps back, looks, throws, deep ball down the field, caught! Cortland Sutton catches that. That's going to be 17-yard gain down to the Jacksonville 44-yard line there. 17-yard pass. Cortland Sutton caught another pass. That one's going to be a 14-yard pass. 1st down. For the Broncos. 1st and 10 from the Jacksonville 30. All right, Pepper Jack, what are you looking for? Chips? Looking for the chippies? Or the chippies? Dippies? You going chippies and dippies? Hey. 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 I love you. ELS says so far he's 6-4 in the pick'em. I don't know what the hell I am. Crafty's letting us know that it's a quick 3-and-out for the loins. I'm very upset that I can't, like, why am I hate that I have to use this room. I thought this was going to be on Fox instead. Oh, it's not a doubleheader for Fox this week? That's why. It was a CBS doubleheader. Damn. Youngling Slayer in the chat says I'm 8-2 so far in the pick'em. What am I? Let me check. What the hell am I in my? I don't even know. And the one where I picked the Dolphins in my ESPN picks. Let me see where I'm at there. Hand off to Harvey on 1st and 10. That's going to be a 1-yard run. Second and 9 from the 29. I'm 7-3 in the ESPN picks. Bo Nix throw way down the field. The cameraman is touching his penis because he doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at. Apparently, it was incomplete. I couldn't tell because the cameraman was just all over the goddamn place. So 3rd and 9 now coming up here for Bo Nix and the Broncos. That could have potentially been a Bover throw. I've lost the Rams game against Seattle. I won the Eagles game against the Commanders, or Redskins, sorry. I got the Bears game over the Packers. What a game that was. Won the Bills over the Browns. Chargers over Cowboys. Lost the Chiefs versus Titans game. Bo Nix looks, throws. Caught a gain of 3. 4th and 6 coming up. Yeah, it was a gain of 3. 4th and 6 coming up for the Broncos. And the Broncos going to go for a field goal here. Will Lutz, snap, hold, kick is off the upright. No good. No good. And the Broncos drive ends up with no points. Oh, no. So far, I got the Rams wrong, I got the Chiefs wrong, and I got the Buccaneers wrong. Those were the only 3 I had wrong on the ESPN picks as I just dropped my phone. Now, on the picks that I did on the Friday forecast where I picked the Dolphins for some reason, the Dolphins would be my 4th loss, but that's the only difference. Ooh, 1-yard gain for Etienne on 1st down. Second and 9 from the 35 upcoming here for the Jaguars. ELS says the 4 games he has wrong are the Rams, Packers, Giants, and Bucks. Irish in the chat says he picked the Broncos in this game. I do believe I picked the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence throws, I don't know where the hell he was throwing that one. 3rd and 9 upcoming. Third and 9 from the 35 for the Jaguars. Bearman in the chat here, sir. So I think the whole Giants team is checked out. I don't know what the heck happened with Dart today. Again, I've said it before. I think the only player that 1,000% is still playing every down as hard as is Brian Burns. That's the only player for the Giants doing that, Bearman. Trevor Lawrence scrambling, trying to find somebody open. Now it looks like he's going to pull it down. Throws, caught. Parker Washington, first down for the Jaguars down at the Denver 44-yard line. 1st and 10, Jaguars in Denver territory. Paul says, I think I'm 7-3, but all my picks I made were on King's live stream. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm 7-3 on the ESPN picks, which were my original picks. 6-4. On everything on the actual Friday forecast picks because I stupidly for some reason picked the Dolphins when I had picked the Bengals originally. So I don't know what the hell happened there. But Trevor Lawrence on 1st and 10 throws incomplete. Perhaps the sun and shadows causing some problems here. 2nd and 10 upcoming for the Jaguars from the Denver 44-yard line. Boswell with a 59-yard field goal for the Steelers. They lead the Lions 3-0. Cardinals lead the Falcons 10-0. And there is no score in the Raiders and Texans game down in Houston. Handoff to Etienne on 2nd and 10. That's going to be no gain, maybe a yard. I have no idea. That's going to be 3rd and 10 upcoming here for the Jaguars. 3:20 and counting remaining here in the first quarter. Paul in the chat says, I have Denver in this particular game. And the upset of the month, Indianapolis beating the 40-Winers. Ah, see what you did? You took Niners and made it Winers. Ah! You're a clever boy. I'm joking, Paul. I know. You're a Colts fan. Paul's our resident Colt fan here, so of course he's going, oh! There was flags down, and now they just absolutely hit Trevor Lawrence. Once the play was, that's got to be some kind of roughing the passer. Oh, that's got to be. He hit him directly in his back. Two fouls on the play. Since they were both penalties, by rule, they're saying it was full start on the Jaguars, but personal foul on the Broncos for hitting Lawrence after the play was whistled dead. And by rule, the 15-yarder takes precedence. And the Broncos are going to say, oh, well, he can't hear. Well, then tell your crowd to shut the fuck up then. How about that? So that's a 15-yard penalty on the Broncos. And that makes it 1st and 10. Down at the Denver 29? Hand off to Etienne. Etienne's going to get down to about the 25. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Four-yard gain there for Etienne. Texans defense already doing their job. Derek Stingley, 31-yard pick 6. Texans on the board, 7-0 early against the Raiders. That game might already be over. 2nd and 6 for the Jaguars from the 25. Trevor Lawrence rolls out to his left, getting chased, escapes the pressure, pulls it down, runs himself, dives for the first down. And he's going to get that 7-yard gain. 1st and 10 down at the 18-yard line for the Jaguars. 7-yard run from Lawrence. Paul says Houston is my Super Bowl pick out of the AFC. I think they're dangerous. I think any team with a defense like that is 1,000% dangerous, especially in the playoffs. Defense wins championships, baby. But I'm pausing on that. I'm pausing on the Texans being a Super Bowl contender as of right now. Lawrence on 1st and 10. We've got flags down. Lawrence is scrambling, looks, throws to nobody in particular, incomplete. Let's see what the flag is. A legal shift on Jacksonville, but Denver declines the penalty. Makes it 2nd and 10. Irish says, but what if the Texans end up as the 3 seed? I mean, it's... You still, like, I get it, but you're not playing the Raiders either, so Trevor Lawrence throws. That's going to be complete. That's a 6-yard pass to Strange. Gets it down to the 12-yard line, 3rd and 4. Coming up for the Jaguars. $18 seconds remaining in the first quarter. There's 6 seconds left on the play clock at 5, 4, 3. Trevor Lawrence takes the snap here. Throws, end zone, caught! Touchdown, Jaguars! And the Jaguars jump on the board first. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, with the assistance of a couple of really ill-timed Broncos penalties, including just holding off on Trevor Lawrence once a play was whistled dead. Extra point, snap, hold, kick, up, right down the middle, good. Jaguars lead 7-0 in Denver. 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Paul says, boo. ELS letting us know, for some reason, about college basketball. Says Georgetown has suspended their head basketball coach, Ed Cooley, for 1 game after he struck a child in the stands with a water bottle in a moment of frustration, according to a statement from Georgetown University themselves, to which Youngling Slayer then says, maybe the kid should have avoided the bottle. How about that? Dodge it! Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Did he forget the 5 Ds? Paul says, Duval D's nuts. Paul, of course, rooting for the Broncos, as he feels that the Broncos Winning against the Jaguars will help his Indianapolis Colts. Couldn't hurt. Lions currently have a first and goal from the Pittsburgh 4-yard line there at Ford Field in Detroit. That's going to be a touchback to the 35-yard line on the kickoff. So the Broncos will start from their own 35-yard line. Youngling Slayer in the chat says, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can dodge an RPG, then you're Jesus. Or Jesus. First and 10, 7 seconds remaining. Bo Nix steps back, looks, throws down the field, caught! Evan Ingram, and he's going to, wow, they are already deep in Jacksonville territory. Runs out of bounds at the Jacksonville 32-yard line. A 33-yard gain on the last play of the first quarter. Second quarter will start with a first and 10 for the Broncos at the Jaguars 32-yard line. Holy shite. Lions are going backwards. Here they have third and goal from the Pittsburgh 6-yard line. Lions are going to face a fourth and goal, and it looks like they're going to go for it. Lions, by the way, in their blueberry uniforms. Paul in the chat says, Colts play the Jaguars next week in Indianapolis. Jaguars' loss here would make it interesting as the Colts finish against the Texans. It would take a miracle, but hey, we have a chip in the chair. He's still in it, baby. That's it. Chip in the chair. Fourth and goal for the Lions. Goff under center, takes the snap, play action, looking, then just throws, and it is incomplete. Turnover on downs for the Lions. Steelers are going to have first and 10 from their own 3 as the Lions come away empty-handed. Steelers lead 3-0 in Detroit. First and 10 coming up here for the Denver Broncos to start the quarter. Second quarter, if you will. Bo Nix, designed run. He's going to run it up the left side. Gets out of bounds. 12-yard run, they're going to call that. So it's going to be first and 10 out of bounds at the Jacksonville 20-yard line. Denver moving the ball here. And we've got a flag before this play happens. This is going to be full start on the Broncos. Crafty in the chat says, wait a minute. Was TJ Watt the problem all along? Paul in the chat says, go Lions. Handoff to Mims. Mims is going to get, 2 yards? They're going to say 3, actually. Gets out at the Jacksonville 22. So it's going to be 2nd and 12 from the Jacksonville 22-yard line. You know what that means. Play clock running down the 5. It looks like we have a timeout here. Jacksonville takes a timeout. So they have 1 remaining for the half. Kenneth in the chat says, I'm 2 plays ahead of you, so let's go Jags. I know, I have to watch a perfectly legal stream, so I'm a little further behind than I'd like to be. Bo Nix back on 2nd and 12 throws. That's going to be caught. That is Cortland Sutton catches that for 7 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Third and 5. Nix is in shotgun. He's got trips over to his right. Nix throws. He's just throwing that up there. Corner of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown Broncos! Cortland Sutton, 15-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying this game up at 7s. Crafty says the Texans' offense has been asked so far. That's my worry when we talk about the Texans being a Super Bowl contender. That's my worry. Is their defense is going to keep them in any game, but their offense has to do at least the minimum amount, and they haven't quite been able to do that yet. Snap, hold, kick, up is good. Extra point is through, and we are all 7s here. In the Mile High City, the Jaguars 7, the Denver Broncos 7. And they'll be coming back here with the Jaguars getting the kickoff right after they get back from the break. Kenneth said no poll question for this game. I had to jump right over real quick. I didn't have a chance to put the poll question up. But good point. I will put that up there right now for you, Kenneth. What's the frequency, Kenneth? All right, let's see. Let me see. I'm going to put something up here different. Here we go. We'll do a little different one. Since, it's a little late to do who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win? We'll just do better throwback uniforms for each of these teams here. So there we go. These 4 o'clock games, not really much better right now. This might be the game that's going on here. Steelers 3-0 over the Lions. They got a 1st and 10 at their own 16 right now. Do the Steelers as they're starting the second quarter in Detroit. Raiders trailing the Texans 7-0. Raiders have a 2nd and 9 on their own 31. Cardinals 10-3 over the Falcons. They're in the desert. Cardinals right now in Falcons territory facing a 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line. ELS wants me to check out this particular Cardinal touchdown. Let's see. That is a hell of a catch. Hey, as long as it doesn't touch the ground, that's what matters. Yeah, that bounced around. That was off him, off his nuts, then just landed right in his lap, and then he caught it between his thighs. Like a lot of ladies I used to know back in the day. By the way, Bo Nix, 7 of 10 for 97 yards and a touchdown so far in this game. Trevor Lawrence, 5 of 9 for 47 yards and also has a touchdown. Kickoff is going to be returned up to about the 28-yard. No, it's going to be returned 28 yards to the 26-yard line for the Jaguars. So that's where they'll have it. 1st and 10 from the 26. No, to the 28. I'm sorry, it is to the 28. All right, I'm sorry. The numbers here screwed me up. 1st and 10 from the 28 here for the Jaguars. Pass thrown to Etienne in the backfield, and then he falls and stumbles, and that's going to be a loss of 5 yards for the Jaguars on 1st down. 2nd and 15 now, all the way back to the 23. So here we go, 2nd and 15. Trevor Lawrence in shotgun. Takes the snap. He looks. He throws. It is incomplete. He was looking for Washington out to the left side. Could not reel it in. 3rd and 15 coming up now for the Jaguars. Crowd is loud in Denver, as it usually is there at Mile High. Trevor Lawrence takes a snap, look, and he's going to go down. That is a sack, a big sack. 11 yards.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
And that's going to be 4th and 26. And the Jaguars not going to get a touchdown on this drive. We've got an injured Jaguar down on the field. Patrick McCarry, the right guard. And so they're going to take a little bit of an official's timeout here for the injury as they assist McCarry, currently on the field there in Denver. Kenneth says we might have a better poll question for the Sunday night NFL game tonight, which, of course, is going to be the New England Patriots at the Baltimore Ravens. What do you think, Kenneth? What should be the poll question tonight for that game on Sunday Night Football, when Carrie Underwood welcomes us all with her shaking ass, as we've been waiting all day for Sunday night to see Carrie Underwood shake it just right. Sorry, checking messages on my phone. I apologize for being quiet. Apologize for being quiet. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. What are these? Looking at my notifications. So the punt is finally away here for the Jaguars. And that's going to be down to the 32-yard line. Is that where we got there? Yeah, he returned it to the 32-yard line for 7 yards after the punt. So 1st and 10 from the 32 for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix shotgun. Mims in motion. Or was that Franklin? I think it was Franklin. Bo Nix throws wide open. Jesus Christ. 26-yard pass to Mims. Gets it all the way down to the Jacksonville 42-yard line. Bo Nix now having the game where he's going to prove that, I'm not a fraud, even though he's been not great the rest of the whatever. Whatever. First and 10 from the Jaguars' 42-yard line. Bo Nix takes the snap. He's getting rushed. He just chucks that up out of bounds. Incomplete. That should be intentional grounding, but it won't be. Paul in the chat says, first down, not frauds. 2nd and 10 from the Jaguars' 42. Oh, just as far as who would win tonight? That'll be a good. All right. I thought you meant you had a specific poll question in mind, Ken. I didn't know. Bo Nix throws. It's going to be caught for 7 yards, 8 yards. They're going to say 8 yards. Bryant gets that catch. That's going to be 3rd and 2 now from the 34. And they're helping Makari off the field. He is walking off very gingerly. That makes me worried. It's either some kind of Achilles or perhaps knee injury. 3rd and 2. Harry Potter being the call from Nix. And Harvey's going to get stopped for a 2-yard loss. Goes from 3rd and 2 to 4th and 4. 4th and 4 from the Jacksonville 36-yard line. I would imagine that the Broncos will go ahead and attempt to kick a field goal here. So 54-yard field goal attempt, 0 for 1 on kicks. This one is straight down the middle and good. And with that, the Broncos take a 10-7 lead against the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars from Duval County. As they'll get the kickoff coming up here to see if they'll do any better than they did on their last drive, where all they did was go backwards. Maybe they can pull off a little better of a drive on this one. Falcons and Cardinals. That game's getting a little bit tighter. Cardinals lead 13-10 over Atlanta. Steelers and Lions still 3-0 there. The Lions have the ball 1st and 10 on the Pittsburgh 17-yard line. They are in the red zone. Look at that. The Raiders still losing to the Texans 7-0. That pick six still the only score on the board. In that game, 105 remaining in the first quarter. Raiders have 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. Paul in the chat says, it's Sack City all day for Princess Trevor. You know, you're using gendered language, and I think we're finding that quite offensive, Mr. Paul. Kenneth trying to do his own impromptu poll in the chat here, asking people to hit number 1 for the Ravens or number 2 for the Patriots. Irish in the chat says the Orange Crush uniforms are indeed the best ones. I like those. Those need to come back as the permanents. Like I said, there's very few throwbacks that I think shouldn't become permanent. Believe it or not, the one I think that shouldn't, as much as I like it, is Bucko Bruce. I love the Bucko Bruce creamsicle uniforms for the Buccaneers, but I like the uniforms they have now. But they should still always keep Bucko Bruce as the throwback alternate. That's what they should always be wearing, in my mind. Getting ready for the kickoff here after the Broncos got a field goal to take the lead 10-7 over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Taken at about the 6-yard line, returned up to the 35, to the 40, to the 41-yard line for the Jaguars. Great return as the Jaguars will start at their own 41-yard line. Lions finally go to take the points as they will have a field goal and tie it 3-3 against the Steelers. 10-10 remaining in the second quarter there at Ford Field in Detroit. 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. Lawrence in shotgun, play action. Looks, throws, that is batted down at the line, incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars. Broncos crowd in full throat. Broncos lead 175 yards to, what is that, 45 for the Jaguars? Yeesh. Trevor Lawrence, 5 seconds remaining on the play clock, takes the snap, looks, throws towards his left side. That's going to be caught, and it's going to be about a yard short of the first down. 9-yard pass for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. 3rd and 1 at the 50-yard line, right at midfield. Third and 1. Jaguars need to get half a yard for the first down. Lawrence, he's going to go ahead and quarterback sneak right up the middle, gets the yard. First down for the Jaguars. 1st and 10 from the Broncos. 49. The Jaguars have slid themselves inside the warm and waiting, delicious Denver Broncos territory. It was gross. That was gross. There's no reason for me to describe it like that. That was terrible. That was absolutely disgusting. 1st and 10, Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence looks, throws, caught! Pass all the way down to about the 26-yard line. 23-yard pass. Too strange. And we've all seen some stranger things. 8 p.m. Christmas on Netflix. 23-yard pass down to the Denver Broncos 26-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Jaguars. Lawrence in shotgun. Etienne gets the pass out of the backfield, but it's going to be a yard loss. 2nd and 11. Second and 11 from the Denver Bronco 27-yard line. Play clock down to 11, 10, 9, 8. Lawrence is in shotgun. Play clock under 5 now. Man in motion. Gets the snap at 2. Pitches it out to Etienne. Etienne gets to the 20, gets the first down and more, to the 10, to the 5, just tripped up, down to the Denver Bronco 3-yard line. 1st and goal, Jaguars. First and goal from the 3. Coming up here for the Jaguars as they're getting rid of the lineup. Hand off, and that's going to be maybe a yard. Maybe a yard. Actually, they're going to say no gains. 2nd and goal from the 3 for the Jaguars. By the way, the Raiders have a 3rd and 6 from the Houston 7. Holy shit! The Raiders have scored a touchdown. The Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas have scored a touchdown against the Houston Texans, and they are an extra point away from tying that game down in Houston. In this game, it is 2nd and goal from the 3. Trevor Lawrence back, looks, throws towards the end zone, caught! Touchdown! Jacksonville Jaguars! Bretton Strange with the catch and the score. The Broncos want a flag. They're not getting one. It is a good touchdown. Paul on the chat says, let's go frickin' Raiders. 13-10, the Jaguars lead, an extra point away from making it a 14-10 game here at the Mile High City. Snap, hold, kick, up. And it is good, and it is 14-10. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a 4-point lead over the AFC leading 12-2 Denver Broncos. Irish. I'm speaking to our good friend in the chat. Irish Panic. Irish. What's going on with your Raiders, man? I mean, not your Raiders, your Texans. We're letting the Raiders actually tie a game with you. What is going on? Just when you have everybody on your side saying, boy, well, this is an easy game for the Texans. They'll get this, and then they got to look forward to maybe getting some of the other games, and they got a chance to really, have a chance at the AFC South title after starting the season as bad as they did, and blah, blah, blah. 12:25 left in the second quarter. You're tied with the Raiders. You just let the Raiders score a touchdown on you. And the only touchdown that you've had was a pick six. Irish. I know it's early. I know it's early. Like I said, 12:25 left in the second quarter. But it's the Raiders. It's the Raiders. It's the booty cheekiest of booty cheeks. Here. Here's a we're gonna do a little visual here because there's that, and then there's this. There they are. Look at that. Look at that team right there. The bootiest cheeks of the hell's hell is where the Raiders are located. The bootiest cheeks of booty cheeks right there. The ring of fire. Think of that as just an asshole of fire right there because that's what surrounds the Raiders. And that is a team that you just let score a touchdown on you to tie the game 7-7. At any point in this game, I think that's something that you need to be embarrassed about. You need to be Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. You were getting another intro there. Crafty was about to have a existential crisis. Kenneth wants to ask, why are there so many flags in the NFL games today? Because it's just the NFL, man. Like I said, the Giants game had, I believe, 27 total flags in the game. This one's been okay. Fingers crossed. Let's not jinx it. Because we've only had about 5 flags. We've had 5 flags thrown in this game, as you can tell with the flag counter. Again, we count flags, not penalties. So even if a penalty is declined or picked up or whatever, it doesn't matter. You throw the flag, it gets counted. Kick's going to be taken at the goal line by the Broncos. Returned only to about the 19-yard line. No, he gets up to the... Injured player on the play. Turner Yell is currently on the ground for the Denver Broncos. Paul says, pretty good game so far. Yeah, this game has been good. This game has been pretty good. How did they say that was up to the 24-yard line? It looks like he got tackled at like the 19 or maybe 21 if you want to say he fell forward there. Delarian Turner Yell, 4th year out of Oklahoma, is the injured Bronco. There's another injured Bronco apparently already in the blue medical tent. So there's just a lot of medical issues going on right now. 4:33 remaining in the second quarter. I'm sorry, 4:27 remaining in the second quarter. Here, Jaguars with a 14-10 lead as they are going to go ahead and go to a break as they take care of the injured Broncos on the field. Irish says, hey, listen, they scored a touchdown. Don't get too carried away. But it's the Raiders who scored a touchdown. the Raiders don't score touchdowns. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Lions, they had a punt again after not doing so well. 1st and 10 for the Steelers at their own 21 as they're getting ready to start their next drive. Cardinals with a 16-10 lead over the Falcons. Texans, they're tied 7-7 with the Raiders. 2nd and 5 from the Vegas 39-yard line. Paul says, why so many flags in the NFL today? Because it's the 2025 Zebras, baby. They're the worst in the NFL history. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Ira says the Raiders are an NFL team. Are they? Are they? First and 10 for the Broncos. Bo Nix tosses it out to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's going to get 7 yards on 1st and 10. Make it 2nd and 3 from the Denver 31-yard line. Second and 3 from the 31. Bo Nix is actually under center for this. Snap. It's going to be a handoff. Again to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's only going to get about a yard. That's going to make it 3rd and 2. Paul says the Texans only average 16 points per game allowed. Yes, no, they have a good defense. Nobody's questioning that. Texans, by the way, get a field goal. They are now up 10-7 on the Raiders. Nix looks, throws. That's going to be caught out of the backfield. That's going to get all the way up to about the 49-yard line. 16-yard pass to Harvey out of the backfield. As he does get up to the 48 is where they mark it. 1st and 10 Broncos near midfield. First and 10 from the 48. Nix takes the snap in shotgun. He rolls out to his right, looks, throws down the field. Incomplete. Looks like the Jaguars had more of a chance to catch that than anybody else. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. Crafty says that C.J. Stroud just had a terrible overthrow, and that's why they had to settle for a field goal. That'll happen. 2:25 remaining in the second quarter. Jaguars with a 14-10 lead, but the Broncos currently at the 48-yard line. 2nd and 10. Nix throws. That's going to be Franklin. Franklin gets about 6 yards on the catch, and that's going to become 3rd and 4, but that's going to be the 2-minute warning as the clock is down to 2:10, 2:09, 2:08. And the Broncos will just let that run down. Cardinals kicker slipped while trying to kick off as I'm watching the red zone feed I have here. And that's going to end up being a penalty there. Crafty says this Loins game is ass, as Crafty loves calling the Lions the Loins. It is 3-3. Pittsburgh is 3rd and 4 at the 27-yard line. It does seem like it's kind of a little bit of a slow game here. Maybe they got something going on. Maybe. I don't know. It appears not. It's going to be 4th and 10 for Pittsburgh from their own 21. They're going to have to punt the ball away. DJ Stroud is... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the Falcons game, so that's not Stroud. That was Bijan Robinson running for a first down for the Falcons. There's really nothing. I mean, some of these 4 o'clock. If you thought the 1 o'clock games were bad, the game we're watching here might be the only good game we got. This might be the only good game we got going on right now. We got 2 minutes remaining here. 3rd and 4 for the Broncos from the Jacksonville 46-yard line. Jaguars only have 1 timeout remaining. They challenged a call earlier on in the first quarter about a first down spot of the ball. That call was upheld, so the Jaguars lost the challenge and a timeout, and then they called a timeout on defense earlier on in the second quarter. So the Jaguars only have 1 timeout remaining. Just think, if Geno Smith didn't throw that pick 6, the Raiders would be winning this game 7-3 over the Texans. Paul wants to know, how is it 61 degrees in Denver in December? It's the Atlas Space Alien Craft Comet, maybe. Here we go. 3rd and 4. Bo Nix. Going to roll out to his right. Throws incomplete. He was looking for Bryant and was not able to get it to him. 4th and 4. And the Broncos are going to have to punt. Broncos preparing to punt. 1:55 remaining in the second quarter. So Jacksonville's defense does what it needs to do. And the punt is away. Jaguars going to get this ball. Fair catch calls for down at the 13-yard line. And that is where they will get their first possession. 1st and 10 for the Jaguars from the 13. Ugh, sorry for the yawn. Sorry. The crowd trying to get loud to help their Denver Broncos defense from the 13-yard line. Trevor Lawrence under center. He takes the snap, and that's going to be a handoff. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. By Allen. Denver is going to take their first time out, as they're looking to maybe get the ball back with some time here if the defense can hold the Jaguars. So that's going to be 2nd and 6 coming up from the 17-yard line of the Jaguars. And Denver, Denver, they get a lot of sun there. And, you get one of those ridges coming up there from Mexico. You get those now. You get a nice warm. Yeah, 61 degrees in December is not odd, I think, for Denver, that area. I don't think it's common, but I don't think it's also that odd either. Lawrence steps back, looks, throws, over the middle, caught down to the 41, 42-yard line. 25-yard pass. Jacoby Myers enjoying that extension he just signed. 1st and 10 from the 42. 1:16 remaining and counting for the Jaguars. Snapped at 1:13. Lawrence rolls to his left, pointing out directions, throws the ball incomplete. He was looking for Washington, could not get the connection. 1:06 remaining, clock stops on the incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the 42 for the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence in shotgun. Broncos defense not showing pressure right now. They might be now. Now here comes the blitz. Lawrence throws over the middle. Caught! That's going to be Jacoby Myers again, and that's right at the first down marker. They're going to say 1st down and 10 from the Denver Broncos 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Clock is running. 46, 45, 44, 43 seconds. Finally, the Jaguars snap it. That's going to be a 5-yard run by Allen up the middle. Second and 5 from the Denver 43. The clock is still running. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21 seconds. 20 seconds. Snapped at 19. Trevor Lawrence looks, throws towards his left. That's going to be caught. And clock stops out of bounds. 12 seconds remaining. The 9-yard pass. Well, they're going to say it's a first down. Well, yeah, no, because it was a 5. Yeah, so that is a first down. I don't know what I'm talking about. First down from the 34-yard line. Trevor Lawrence back, looks, throws, caught. 7 seconds remaining. Seven seconds remaining. 2nd and 5 from the Denver 29-yard line. Lawrence takes the snap. Back, throws deep towards the end zone. Actually, it was about more like the 5-yard line. It's incomplete. 2 seconds remaining. And now here comes Cam Little on for a... How long is this attempt going to be? .47-yard field goal attempt here for Cam Little and the Jaguars. 2 seconds remaining. Snap, hold, kick. It is good! And the Jaguars take a 17-10 lead into halftime against the Denver Broncos at home. In Denver, Denver facing a touchdown deficit at Mile High Stadium. We're going to see what happens there. But yeah, Jaguars. Look at that. Look at the Jaggies. Look at the Jaguars. 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 What's up, Jaguars? 7-point lead, 17-10, Jaguars over the Denver Broncos. Fixing the timeouts here, so we make sure we have all teams have 3 timeouts at the halftime here. Checking in on some of these other games. We've got the Texans still with a 10-7 lead over the Raiders. They're facing a 2nd and 12 from their own 9-yard line, though. Lions 3, Steelers 3. Lions have 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 20. However, they are in the red zone. Technically, the Falcons They are inside Arizona territory, 1st and 10 at the Arizona 11. Cardinals have a 16-10 lead, but for how long? And, of course, this game, as we mentioned, at halftime right now, 17-10 Jaguars leading the Denver Broncos. We are at halftime, which means my over-caffeinated ass needs to get more caffeine in it, so I'm going to go ahead and make some more coffee because that is what I do. You can go ahead and do the same thing. Get yourself a snack, take a piss, maybe even take a dump if you have to. Get some nice buffalo wings. Have some Sunday football pizza. Whatever you're doing, enjoy your halftime. I will be back for the third quarter here between the Jaguars and the Broncos right here on Stay Tuned Sports. By the way, please, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Hit that share button, share us around, let the world know that we do exist. And, of course, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and being monetized here on this great and lovely platform known as YouTube. Be back in just a little bit. back, baby. Apparently, something I missed here while I was heating up the coffee and saying hello to Peppa Jack as she's watching her Hallmark Christmas movies, as she does. Well, I don't think they're Hallmark. They're on Netflix, but they're like Hallmark-esque. You know what I mean. DK Metcalf took a swing at a fan. Closed fist and everything. Congratulations to that Detroit Lions fan for just making a lot of money. Congratulations to you. And here we are in this game, getting ready for the third quarter to begin. Crafty in the chat says the Lions game has been surprisingly ass. No, is it surprisingly ass or is it just ass? Have the Steelers or Lions in the last couple weeks shown you anything that it would be a good game? Like, I didn't think it would be a good game, and so far that have been proven correct. Checking in on some of these other games, by the way, Falcons, Cardinals at halftime right now. They're tied up all at 16. Relayer in the chat says, what the hell is DK not thinking? He's not thinking. That was the problem. Like, you can get upset as you want. You can do anything like that. Honestly, the fact of the matter is you should never be that close to the fans anyway. You should never be that close to the fans. Get your ass on the bench and away from the fan. Like, that's just the bottom. Like, it was just, it's. I don't care. Well, what if the fan said something really bad to him? What if they said the N-word? What if they said some other kind of. You shouldn't be that close to the fan to hear him say that anyway. And even if he does, then you point him out to security and you have that. You let NFL security handle that. You being that close to a fan, look it up at him, and then give him a jab. Like, there's no reason for that. 2nd and 9 here for the Broncos. And Nix is going to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That counts, ladies and gentlemen, as one of these.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Never mind. They said holding on the Jaguars on that play. So that's an automatic first down instead of a 3rd and long. So 1st and 10 now at the 33 after the penalty. Bo Nix throws across his body and across the field. Franklin gets the catch there, and that's going to be good for about 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 38-yard line now. Crafty says they have protocols for when fans say something outrageous. Yeah, like the players have, again, it all goes with the fact, why was DK Metcalf right at the wall talking to a fan that, there's no reason for him to be there? Nix rolls out to his right, throws. That's going to be caught. 8-yard pass to Antonio Johnson. We have another flag. The officials look like they want to get their airtime in this game now, unfortunately. What did they do? They threw it. Did they seriously throw a flag on this? Wow, they called unnecessary roughness on a clean hit on the Jaguars. 15-yard penalty that puts it down at the Jaguars 38. Unbelievable. What an absolute joke of a call. What an absolute fucking joke. Pardon my language. I'm trying to clean it up, but that's a joke. That's an absolute joke. Paul in the chat says, absolute joke. I don't disagree. By the way, Crafty letting us know that in that Steelers game was it Gainwell caught a pass while lying on his back and ran it in for a touchdown. Harvey, he breaks a tackle. He's down. They're going to call that a touchdown? Wow. I'm still at a loss here. It's going to be a touchdown for the Broncos, but that's what an unbelievable, horrendous call from the officials that set up the Broncos. And so the Broncos got a 38-yard touchdown run there from Harvey. I don't know. Again, it's hard. Like I that would have been a great run. I would have went ape shit for that, but that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Oh, I don't know why I hit that. That's bad. So the Broncos line up for the extra point now. Snap, hold, kick is up. It's good, and the Broncos have tied the game on what was set up on a really terrible call from the officials. By the way, seeing the highlights of that Kenneth Gainwell catch there for the Steelers, catch and then run into he caught it on his back, kind of on his side there on the back, was surprisingly not touched by the Detroit Lion, so he was able to get up and get into the end zone, touchdown, and so at halftime, it is the Lions 10 and the Steelers 10 tied as they are going into the break there. The three other games now are in halftime. Falcons, Cardinals tied at 16. Steelers, Lions tied at 10. And Texans, Raiders. Texans have a 13-7 lead. 6 points on the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. That bothers, like it does. It bugs me. I'm sorry, it does. When you see such a bad call, and then the next play, oh, it's great. Well, you got to stop or you can't let him get a 38-yard run. I understand it, but they shouldn't have been in that position to get that anyway. Like it's these little calls here and there that do, like, it fucks up these games. Like, I wish the NFL would look at what happened on Thursday and look at what happened on Saturday. The referees take a minimal fucking backseat to shit. Like, you know, and people go, well, what about the 2-point play in the Seattle Rams game? Even then, they took a backseat to the point where it had to be called down from upstairs to be like, hey, wait a minute. Well, it actually looks like it was a backwards pass. That could actually be good. Like, you know, keep yourself out of it. That was a good, clean hit that gave the Broncos an extra 15 yards for no fucking reason. Sorry for the language. I'm trying to watch my language. I am. But still, like, it's frustrating to watch these NFL games where the referees just have to insert themselves in every goddamn game. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating as a fan trying to watch the game, and it's like, come on. Like, again, even in the Giants-Vikings game where they gave Jackson Dart, they gave the Vikings a 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer. It's like, what do you want? What do you want the defender to do? Like, it doesn't. I don't know. Just I'm at a loss for it. I really am. Kickoff is only going to get down to the 25-yard line. It's a 23-yard return there for the Jaguars as they started at the 2, returned it up to the 25. So 1st and 10 from the Jacksonville 25 for the Jaguars. Jimbo in the chat says, so I guess the refs are roughing. Yes, Jimbo. The refs have indeed been roughing. This Sunday slate has been definitely not the best when it comes to the officials. 1st and 10. It's going to be a pitch to Etienne. Etienne's going to get about 2 yards on that one. 2nd and 8 upcoming from the Jacksonville 27-yard line. Paul in the chat says, when the Colts a few weeks ago got screwed, had the Texans beat, and the play clock was expired by 1.5 seconds, and they called pass interference on top of that when a Texan player tripped, cost us our season. I don't think it cost you the season, like Paul. Especially if you beat the 40 whiners, as you say. Yeah, I mean, the Colts ain't dead. Colts ain't dead. Throw caught by Jacoby Myers. He's going to be about a yard short here. 3rd and 1 for the Jaguars from the Jacksonville 34-yard line. Elis in the chat says, fun fact, Taysom Hill is the only player with over 1,000 passing, rushing, and receiving yards in the Super Bowl era for the New Orleans Saints there. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback keeper, and that's a 1st down. 6-yard gain. Gets it down to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Jaguars. So from the 40. Lawrence, play clock down to 2, down to 1. Lawrence gets the snap off. Hit as he throws. He throws to Etienne. Did he catch that? I think he did. He's been in the backfield. We got a flag down, though. What's this? Roughing the passer body weight? Again, this is the thing I'm talking about. Oh, he did jump on him. He, jumped on him with the body weight. All right. They'll call that. They'll call that all the time. That's... Paul in the chat says roughing the passer makeup call BS. He did leave it. He did kind of do the hung. He made sure to land on him. So because of that penalty, it moved it to the Denver 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 there, and that's going to be a 1-yard run for Allen. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Lawrence steps back, throws over the middle, incomplete. No flag. Hufanga was in on that. Lawrence looking for the flag. Jaguars looking for the flag. Let's see if there was a flag deserved. Oh, it is. He hit him before the pass cut there. That should have been a flag. That should have been a flag. Well, also, Crafty, don't. Like, here's the thing. I understand, like, sometimes when you hit a quarterback and you land on him, that's fine. What happened on that play with Roaches was that he literally left his feet and then jumped on Lawrence. Lawrence gets the snap off, throws. It's going to be caught. It's going to be a first down and more for the Jaguars. 20-yard pass down the left side. Washington with that reception. And that's going to get it down to the Denver 24-yard line. 1st and 10 on a 20-yard gain by Washington. 1st and 10 from the Denver 24-yard line. Yeah, the low hit rule on the quarterback is the Brady rule because they tore his ACL. He missed the whole season. Lawrence, play action. Throws. That's going to be caught. And that's going to be down to the 14, 13-yard line. First down. Patrick with the reception. 10-yard pass. 1st and 10 from the Denver 14-yard line. Crafty says that rule was invented after the 2017 season solely to accommodate Rodgers' fragility. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the NFL, maybe the best arm to ever, most accurate quarterback. What a fraud he is. Trevor Lawrence throws. It's going to be caught for about 2 yards. Strange with the catch there. 2nd and 8. Down at the 12. Trevor Lawrence performing a lot better when he doesn't have pressure. Shocking. That's a shocking stat there, Fox. Who would have thought a quarterback would perform better when he's not under pressure from the defensive line? I would have never guessed. Throws towards the end zone. Incomplete. Oh, we got a flag down, though. There is a flag. What is this? This was a pass towards Washington in the end zone. Washington still down on a knee. Pass interference on the Broncos. He's grabbing his arm. Yeah. He's literally grabbing his arm. Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to call that? Like, it happened in the end zone, too. So it's going to be 1st and goal on the 1. Like, again, the Broncos are notorious for the pass interference calls. They seem to get away with it because they have a good defense. And they can sometimes make up on those calls, but that is a hell of a pass interference. Crafts in the chat says, Fox is like, hey, we need these graphic makers. We hired the graphics makers. Got to get them to do something. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback keeper, touchdown, Jacksonville Jaguars. And they're about to take the lead once again. Well, they've taken the lead now, 23-17. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, did the stream die? Did my stream die? I think my stream might have died. It did indeed. Extra points up and good, and the Denver Broncos trail 24 17 to the Jacksonville Jaguars in Denver after there was a very questionable call on the last touchdown drive by the Broncos. You could say maybe there was a questionable call with the Trevor Lawrence roughing the passer. Again, I think the one that was against Jackson Dart earlier in the day was a lot more questionable. That one was clearly he would left his feet and purposely landed with all his body weight on top of Trevor Lawrence. They will call that every day of the week, whether you like the rule or not, whether you think it was made for Aaron Rodgers or not, especially when that blatantly they are going to call that one. And then the pass interference in the end zone, he was grabbing his arm. Like, again, I think I will call out the... In case you guys didn't know, I will call out the refs when they need to be called out. I think we have a pretty clear understanding of that. I will call the refs out. I think on that bad call on the Broncos touchdown drive, I think that was absolutely egregious. On the 2 penalties here on the Jaguars drive, I think that those are legitimate. You just hate the Broncos because you say they're frauds. Yeah, I mean, you could sit there and say that all you want, but I mean, let's be fucking serious here for a second. I'm a Giants fan. Whatever the Broncos do, I really don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't hate the Broncos. If anything, I kind of pull for them because I like Brandon Perna. So, like, if that's anything. But I will call out bad calls when I see them, and I will give credit where credit is due when the calls are legitimate. Those are legitimate calls, I think, on the Jaguars drive. And so, sue me. I don't give a shit. However, if you are a Broncos fan, I'm sure you don't agree. But anyway, here you go. Fuck the refs. Hoodies and T-shirts are available right now over at bit.ly/staytunedmerch, or you can go to the link in the top of the chat or in the description below this video that you're watching right now to go ahead and get your Fuck the Ref hoodie and T-shirt. Comes pre-pixelated, so you won't be breaking any obscenity laws in your local communities. Get it right now, bit.ly/staytunedmerch. Crafty says my stream died just like Jake Paul's title shot hopes. Just like his fucking jaw. Jesus Christ, you see that thing? Broke that thing. It looks like an earthquake fault line. Like it is just all over the place now. And that's going to be a touchback here. Going to go to the 35-yard line here. First and 10 for the Denver Broncos from their own 35-yard line. All the other games have now come back from halftime. Falcons, Cardinals, they got 9:32 in the third, still tied 16-16. Falcons are driving, though, first and 10 on the Arizona 26. They are approaching the red zone. Bo Nix under center, first and 10, play action, escapes the pressure. He gets it to Harvey out of the backfield. Harvey's going to get all the way up to the 50-yard line. 15-yard gain, first down, Denver Broncos, as they get it to the 50-yard line. Jimbo in the chat says, not sure if you saw or heard, but DK Metcalf got physical with it. Yes. Crafty brought that up during halftime. I did see the video on Twitter, and boy, that fan is going to get paid, get the bag. And DK's, we got a little bit of a reverse here. Bo Nix throws down the field, incomplete. Had Cortland Sutton, but it was knocked away at the last minute. R.J. Harvey had taken a direct snap, and then it was kind of pitched to Bo Nix on a reverse kind of deal, kind of a weird lineup there, kind of like a Wildcat situation. And then Nix had a big pass, a little bit of a trick play, but it cannot, and he had it in his hands. Oh, Cortland Sutton had it in his hands. And could not bring it down. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Broncos. After that would have been pretty. That would have been pretty. If they were able to get that, that would have been real pretty. Bo Nix throws out of the backfield. That's going to be Mims. And, boy, that's a 3-yard, 4-yard loss, something like that. Not good. They're going to say only a 3-yard loss on that one. 3rd and 13 coming up here for the Denver Broncos. 3rd and 13. Got to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. Bo Nix takes the snap. He's looking, overthrows. We got him, overthrow. He was looking for Bidet and did not get it. 4th and 13. 4th and 13? 4th and 13. 4th down and 13. I don't know why that sounded weird to me. Broncos sending out the punting unit, and they will punt. Falcons get a field goal. They now lead 19-16 over the Cardinals. Broncos punt is away. And that is going to bounce and go into the end zone. Touchback. Jaguars get the ball at the 20. 6:03. The ball bounced. It bounced back out, but it just landed on the goal line. That's why. Oh, that was so close to being a perfect punt, but it just landed on the goal line. Since that happened, it broke the plane. That is a touchback. Jaguars ball on the 20 when they come back from a break here. Oh, no. Aaron Rodgers, short pass to the right side. Washington had got it down to the Detroit 3-yard line. Detroit challenged, saying that the runner was down by contact because he fumbled the ball. Play was reviewed and reversed, and the Detroit Lions have possession at their own 3-yard line after a fumble by the Steelers. So the Steelers were driving and fumbled the ball inside the Detroit 3-yard line. Detroit recovers. First down, Detroit, from their own 3-yard line. Oh, boy. That's just great. The Raiders have tied it up with the Texans 13-13. Extra point will give the Raiders the lead. I swear to Christ, Irish. I swear to Christ, if the Raiders take the lead here, you have to eat you have to drink an entire bottle of Frank's Red Hot or something. I don't know. This is absurd. This is absurd. The Raiders should not be winning against you. I picked you. You were the chosen one. "60-yard touchdown pass to Ashton Genty." Unbelievable. First and 10 for the Jaguars from the 20. Etienne gets a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up from the Jacksonville 22. Yes! We got her back up there, baby. Irish says, I'm not doing that. Extra point is up and good for the Raiders. They now lead 14-13. Parker Washington, that's going to be a catch for about 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now from the 27. Big pass from Trevor Lawrence goes all the way down the field. Parker Washington gets it. He's running around. He's still scrambling, trying to get more yardage. And he gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. 63 yards. 1st and goal for the Denver Broncos, or for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Denver Broncos. Oh, man. And the Jaguars are close to maybe getting a 2-touchdown lead in this game from the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence throws to his left side to Etienne. Etienne breaks the tackle. Touchdown, Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jaguars lead 30-17. Holy shit, what a change. It was a short little pass to Parker Washington on the right side, and in Parker Washington, there's just nobody there for Denver. He just runs all the way down the field to the 10-yard line. Unbelievable. Extra point coming up here for the Jaguars. Snap, hold, kick, up is good. I don't know. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Oh, boy. 31-17. The Jaguars have the lead in Denver. 3:56 remaining in the third. Holy shit. I didn't even have time to take Taylor down. Oh, is that the other shiny bug you got? Oh, let me see. I want to show everybody because it's a beauty. Pepper Jack just got this today because she was missing one vinyl from all of the Life of a Showgirl vinyls that she got. Well, that collection is now complete today, as you can see. This is the shiny bug variant. As you can tell, it's one of my favorites because Taylor is popping that ass, if you will. Very nice. Very lovely. Here the back. Oh, is this the back? Oh, yes. This is the back of it. Orange dress Taylor, lounging ever so sexily. Again, she has popping ass in the front, popping tits on the back. Taylor Swift, Life of a Showgirl. This is the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to Taylor. There you go, Pepper Jack. Thank you so much. I love you. Paul in the chat says, yummy. Of course, Paul has to make it disgusting. Thank you, Paul. We all know. We're all thinking yummy. You don't say yummy, though. Oh, man. Jared Goff apparently has a safety. The Lions were backed all the way on their ass end, so the Steelers got a safety, plus now they have possession because of the safety punt. So the Steelers leading the Lions 12-10. Raiders leading the Texans 14-13. Falcons leading the Cardinals 19-16, and the Jaguars up 31-17 on the Denver Broncos. Holy shit. These 4 o'clock games have really decided to pop off here in the second half. Woo! As I mentioned, 3:56 remaining in the third quarter, waiting for the commercial break to end so we can get back to the game here in Denver. Oh, is that the full layout? Was that different from the other one? No. Oh, it's just the same. Okay. I thought you were going to give it to me so I could show everybody. Be like, oh, see, guys, this is very nice, lovely. Oh no, I don't get to do that one, huh? Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure the guys will love it. I'm sure the guys will love it. As I mentioned, everybody, here you go. There's the life of the showgirl, and then there's this. When you open it up, be very careful. You got to be very careful. Oh, look! Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! That's just exquisite. It's art. It's art when you talk about it. If you really want to sit there and think about it, this is art, ladies and gentlemen. That is true art, true photographic art. There you go, Pepperjack. Thank you so much, Pepperjack. Oh. Kickoff. It's going to be a penalty there on the Broncos for holding on the kickoff. Going to be 1st and 10 after the penalty at the 16-yard line for the Broncos. 1st and 10 from the 16. Bo Nix in shotgun takes the snap, hands it off here. And that's going to be McLaughlin. Gets 4 yards up the middle. 2nd and 6. Coming up from the 20. Crafty says, Jaguars, if they continue on this way, will be on their way to sweeping the AFC West. Here's the thing I think you really have to take into consideration. If the Jaguars complete this, oh boy, Bo Nix was under pressure. That kind of pass was not on target, incomplete. 3rd and 6 upcoming here for the Broncos. ELS in the chat says DUVAAL, or maybe like Liam Cohen, DUVAAL. Steelers had a shot there, dropped in the end zone, incomplete for them. For the Broncos here, 3rd and 6. Bo Nix throws. That's going to be caught. Bryant catches that, and that's a 1st down for 13 yards for the Broncos. It's going to be 1st and 10 down at the Broncos' 33-yard line. Crafty says, amazing how the AFC South went from being one of the weakest divisions at the start of the season to being one of its scariest. Well, I mean, just the Texans' defense is scary. The Jaguars, if they can be consistent, are dangerous. And the Colts, if they can find stability with Phillip Rivers, can still be a hard-out kind of team. So, again, I don't think the South is any great shakes, but I think it's certainly they're better than the afterthought that everybody thought they were going to be. The NFC South is really kind of the afterthought right now, more so than the AFC South. Negative war fumble! Oh no! Bo Nix fumbled the ball. What was that? And the Jaguars recover the ball. The wheels are coming off in Denver. Oh no. It was a snap. It was supposed to be either a hand. It looked like it was going to be an RPO. It seemed like McLaughlin thought Nix was going to keep it. Nix was trying to hand it off, and it was just, oh no. Oh, no. Oh, Bo, if you will. What a mistake. And now it is 1st and 10 for the Jaguars from the Denver 34-yard line. Trevor Lawrence takes the snap. Throws it to Etienne. Etienne gets it up to about the 30. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Actually, they're going to say he got to the 29. It's a 5-yard gain for Etienne. And Hainsey, the center for the Jaguars, his 5th season out of Notre Dame. He is being helped off the field, backup center, coming on to the field for the Jaguars here. Jonathan Monheim, rookie from USC. So you have a Notre Dame center and now a USC center, a little rivalry center going on there. Pecans, oh no! Paul in the chat says, just like the Packers. Hand off to Etienne. He tries to go up the middle. Gets nowhere. No gain. 0 yards. 2nd and 5 turns into 3rd and 5. Coming up here. 3rd and 5 from the Denver 29 for the Jaguars after a Bo Nix fumble on a botched exchange with McLaughlin, the running back. McLaughlin. The McLaughlin group. Dun, 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 dun. If anybody's old enough to remember the McLaughlin group, get your prostate checked. 3rd and 5. Trevor Lawrence in shotgun. Takes a snap, looks, throws. That's going to be caught. First down and more. 20, 15. Down to the 10. Down to the 5. Parker Washington, 1st and goal for the Jaguars. Oh, no. Oh, Denver, what is going on? Crafty says Jags exploded in that Chargers game, and they haven't looked back since. Paul says the Jaguars are going to score and seal this one up. I'm going to switch to the Texans game. The time is clicking off here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter here in Denver with the Jaguars 31, the Denver Broncos 17, and the Jaguars with a 1st and goal from the 5. Ladies and gentlemen, put the 4s up in the chat as we see. You see the coaches and the players do it all the time. When it reaches the 4th quarter, they put the 4s up because they're there for all 4 quarters. They give the effort for all 4 quarters. That's what we do here on Stay Tuned Sports. We're here for all 4 quarters. Get the 4s up in the chat, however you want to do it. The number 4, the 4 tally marks, the Roman numeral 4. You want to use emojis, however you want to do it. If you just want to hang outside your window and scream at people while having 4 fingers out there, you could do that as well. I don't really care. Just don't say I said to do it because then, the cop's going to come bother me. But don't do that. But just put the 4s up in the chat as, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Exciting times here on the broadcast. Jaguars up 31-17 on the Broncos heading into the 4th quarter. Falcons with a 19-16 lead on Arizona. They currently are in the red zone on the Arizona 10-yard line with a 2nd and 2. Steelers 4th and 1 on the Detroit 11-yard line. They lead 12-10. And the Texans, they are trailing the Raiders. The Raiders 14-13. Houston has a 1st and 10 on their own 47. 6:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter there in Houston. ELS says, I don't recommend yelling 4 at your neighbors. You could. Like I said, just don't say I said to do it because I'm not dealing with the police. Jimbo in the chat just has a continuous stream of 4s. Thank you so much, Jimbo. ELS, he's got his 4s up. He's got the stream of 4s. Crafty in the chat says the Jaguars currently have one of the best resumes in the league. Panthers, Texans, Niners, Chiefs before they collapsed, the Chargers, the Colts, and now, if they can finish this off, possibly Denver. I was going to say, remember earlier on in the season where Jimbo refused to have the Jaguars out of his Booty Cheeks 5? Where he was just like, Jaguars suck. Jaguars are terrible. Jaguars are going to be awful. Fuck the Jaguars. They're terrible. Boy, 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 how the turntables. Lloyd says the Jaguars are doing what I said they do, playing erratically. They're playing erratically, but playing ecstatically. So here we go, getting ready to start the 4th quarter here in Denver. Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Lloyd says he did the same for the Texans. Well, he did the Texans as being the best. He said the Texans were going to be above everybody. Jimbo says they do suck. It's the Broncos. So Trevor Lawrence in shotgun here. Man in motion, quarterback, keeper, and he gets immediately swallowed up. Robinson in on the hit, and that's a sack to
But
me.
too bad your ass got sacked.
5-yard sack on that, even though Trevor, that was going to be a keeper. He's still the quarterback. It's behind the line of scrimmage, and I just like playing the sack clip. So, 2nd and goal from the 10 now, as it's a 5-yard loss. Trevor Lawrence in shotgun again. Takes the snap, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught. Good for 3 yards. Pass to Jacoby Myers. Down to the 7. 3rd and goal for the Jaguars. Paul says the Texans are driving right now. It's all coming apart for the Colts. And Paul, our resident Colts fan. Third and goal from the 7. And Jacksonville's going to use their first time out of the half. Trevor looks rather upset. Looks like he'd rather have not have taken that time out, but that is what's going on here. 4th and 1 for the Texans as they are on the Raiders' 31-yard line. Steelers, 2nd and goal from the Detroit 14-yard line. Falcons, 19. Cardinals, 16. 2nd and goal for the Falcons from the Cardinals, 3. Crafty says DK Metcalf got a touchdown, but it was taken away because of OPI. So that's why they had it all the way back there. Trevor Lawrence in shotgun. Nobody in the backfield. Pepper Jack here showing the shiny bug record. Very nice here. Trevor Lawrence takes the snap back. Oh, gets hit as he throws. Tried to get it to Jacoby Myers. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th and goal for... That looks very nice, Pepper Jack. Can I see? Touchy. Pepper Jack just wanted to show this to everybody. It's the green one. It's the nice one. Whoops. No, I won't drop it, I promise. That's very nice. I like the green. A little darker. Yeah. Well, you like things that are dark, deep and dark. Snap, hold, kick up. Field goal attempt for the Jaguars is good. 34-17. They have the lead now over the Broncos. They could have scored a touchdown, but they did it. They didn't. They weren't able to do it. So the Broncos not fully dead in this game yet. Oh, did I not move that back over? Oh, okay. I guess after the fumble, I didn't even do that. Whoops. Crafty says DK shouldn't even be in the game after he punched the fan. I don't disagree with that. The fact that the NFL hasn't called that down yet and gotten him out of the game is surprising. 3rd and goal for the Steelers from the Detroit 7. 26 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Paul says, we control our own destiny, we being the Colts. We need some help, and we haven't had a single bit of help during the Colts losing streak. I get it. Yeah, sometimes when it rains, it pours for you, Paul. I get that. Crafty thinks that the Jaguars have been AFC East title or NFC title contenders just simply since the Jaguars trounced the Chargers at home. I didn't want to get I was like, okay, they did it at home. I was like, let's see if they can be consistent. Since that game, I will agree with you a bit, Crafty. I They've won games. I mean, that's the bottom line. Consistency is a little, they've played okay. Trevor Lawrence has played okay. He hasn't played great. But they've played well enough to win. I guess that's what really matters, I suppose. I mean, look at the Broncos, what I've been saying about the Broncos, too. It's as much the same way of I don't think they've played well, but they've played well enough to win their games. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Bo Nix is going to pull that down and run it himself. Slides down for a gain of about 5 yards. They're going to say 4-yard run, actually, for Bo. 2nd and 6 coming up from the 36-yard line. Hand off here to R.J. Harvey, and Harvey's going to get a 1st down. They're going to say he ran for about 7 yards. 1st down. 1st and 10. Jimbo says, I compare the Jaguars to Tulane. I don't know. The Jaguars have proven themselves against tough opponents. Tulane never did. The one tough opponent they played was Ole Miss earlier in the season, and they lost by 40. Then they played them again and got trounced again. Bo Nix on 1st and 10. Throws deep down the field. He's got Franklin caught. Down to the Jaguars 9. 1st and goal, Denver Broncos. 48-yard pass from Bo Nix down to Franklin. And the Broncos are knocking right on the door. That's why if you're the Jaguars, you had to score a touchdown there. Had to score a touchdown. Because the Broncos can strike quickly. 1st and goal from the 9. Bo Nix in shotgun. Quick throw. That's going to be to Bryant. He's going to get 6 yards. Down to the Jaguars 3. 2nd and goal upcoming here for the Broncos. Steelers get a field goal. They lead now 15-10 over the Lions with 2 seconds gone in the 4th quarter there. Falcons lead the Cardinals 26-16. That's a 10-point game. Texans now lead the Raiders 16-14. 2nd and goal. Tipped ball, incomplete pass from Bo Nix. 3rd and goal coming up for the Denver Broncos. Paul thinks that the Jaguars' offensive line has been super impressive during their win streak. 3rd and goal for the Broncos. Nix under center. He's going to pull it down. Now throws in and out of the hands. Incomplete. He was looking for Cortland Sutton and could not get it to him. Incomplete. 4th and goal from the 3 for the Jaguars. For the Broncos, sorry. They are down 17 points, 34-17. Will they go for the touchdown or will they go for the field goal? We're going to find out here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And they're going to go for the field goal here. Will Lutz on. 21-yard attempt. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it's good. And the Broncos cut the lead down to 14 points, 34-20. The Jaguars lead over the Broncos. 10:44 remaining in the 4th quarter. Can the Jaguars get a sustained drive, or is this just going to be shootout city? If the Jaguars can get a sustained drive, become what everybody needs to do late in games, be a good old-fashioned clock sucker. If they can do that, they can close this game out and not give the Broncos a chance to even sniff a comeback. Can the Jaguars do that? This is the mark of teams that can win playoff games, win championships, win Super Bowls. Can you close out a team that people think is better than you? Can you close out a game that you are in control of? Can you run that clock down and win the game? Keep the control within yourself and your own team. We're going to find out here coming up. Irish is saying too many drops from Cortland Sutton in this game. He's had a couple of good catches, but he also has had a couple of costly drops. They had one drop on that little trick play earlier in the third quarter that put the Broncos, it would have put them right there in a first and goal situation. Dropped the ball. It was right in his hands, and he dropped it. He dropped that pass in the end zone there. Granted, difficult catch. It would have been, both of them would have been difficult catches, but it's in your hands. It hits your hands. You're an NFL receiver. Catch that ball, man. You got to catch that ball. Crafty says that Bo's receivers do let him down with some drops. And I'll say this, there have been barely any overthrows in this game. So I will give Bo Nix credit where credit is due. Paul thinks that the Jaguars season turned around when they made that trade for Jacoby Myers, which is part of the reason why they probably signed him to that 3-year extension. Crafty says, I've been saying since early in the season that the Jaguars have a well-rounded team, that they just needed Trevor not to be an asshole, and somebody finally passed him the memo about 6 weeks or so ago. Kickoff is away. Jaguars going to get this ball at around the 3-yard line. Return to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Tackle down at about the 33-yard line for the Jaguars. That's where they'll take over. 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Crafty says, goof. I imagine he's talking about Jared Goff, nearly got picked throwing the ball away for the Detroit Lions. Lions trailing by 5 to the Steelers, 15-10. In Detroit, Lions have a 3rd and 15 right now from their own 9-yard line. Trevor Lawrence under center. Play action. Looks, throws, incomplete. He was looking for Strange and could not get any Strange. And so, this is, I would be running the ball. Keep the clock running. There's 10:34 remaining in the fourth. You want to run as much of that clock off as possible. Second and 10 from the 33. Lawrence is in shotgun. Trevor Lawrence back to pass. Goes deep over the middle. In and out of the hands of Washington. Incomplete. 3rd and 10, and the clock stops. Paul says absolutely they should be running the ball, and they're not. Again, I think that's so. 3rd and 10. $10:29 remaining in the fourth quarter. Trevor Lawrence takes the snap. Getting pressure, pulls it down, and he's sacked. Gets it baby back to the line of scrimmage, but
too bad your ass got sacked.
And so now they have to punt. They started this drive at, what was it, 10:38? 10:44, 10:38, something like that. They ran almost no time off the clock. The sack ran more time off the clock than any other play they've had. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And now the Broncos have a lot of time left. And they can get it. Punt is away. Caught at about the 12-yard line. Returned to the 20. Then he reestablishes. They're going to move him back. That's going to move him back to the 18, 19. They're going to say to the 19-yard line. Return of 7 yards. 1st and 10 from the Denver 19. 9:28 remaining. Again, the Jaguars took off 1 minute of time on that. It's those kind of series, those drives where you do something like that, where you have a chance to take off a ton of time off the clock, and you do that instead. Those are the drives that will cost you games. Those are the drives that allow teams to then come back and get back into a game. Unbelievable. Crafty in the chat says, I imagine a mailman showing up to the Jaguars training facility saying, I got this memo for Trevor Lawrence from a crafty southpaw from YouTube. I would have delivered it sooner, but I misplaced it under my seat. See, you had the memo ready to go. It just, the mailman couldn't get it to him in time, Crafty. That was a problem. Only just 6 weeks ago. Steelers, they have 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line, still leading the Lions 15-10. Texans, they have the ball 2nd and 4 from their own 18-yard line. 16-14, they lead by 2 over the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. And the Falcons lead the Cardinals by 10, 26-16. Falcons have the ball currently on their own 49-yard line, facing a 3rd and 6. For this game, the Broncos will have 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. Jaguars leading by 2 touchdowns, 14 points, 34-20. Jaguars, Colts next week. Eagles, Bills at 4 o'clock. That'll be a fun one. So here we go. From the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Bo Nix breaks the huddle. Bo Nix in shotgun, takes the snap, steps back, throws to Harvey out of the backfield. Harvey takes it, and now he runs to the 30, to the 40, to the 45, down, pushed out at the 50. And that's why you run the ball when you can, Jacksonville. That's a 32-yard gain for the Denver Broncos. And that's going to be out at the Jacksonville 49-yard line, 1st and 10. First and 10 from the 49. Bo Nix in shotgun, takes the snap. Looks, getting pressured. It's going to be caught. Harvey once again, 8-yard pass. 2nd and 2 from the Jacksonville 41-yard line is where the referees spot that ball. Second and 2 from the 41. Bo Nix steps back. That ball is tipped at the line. Incomplete. It was towards Evan Engram, but incomplete. 3rd and 2 coming up here. 8:17 remaining in the fourth quarter. Crafty in the chat saying Jags, maybe they're getting flashbacks of their Texans rematch. Ooh, yeah, Texans came all the way back against the Jaguars in that game. Again, this wouldn't be the first time the Jaguars blew a game. 3rd and 2. Nix takes the snap. Getting pressured. He just tosses that boy. Was that a fumble? They're going to say no. Incomplete. They're going to say it was a pass towards Bidet. Incomplete. That was like a weird. That was close to being in a grasp. Jesus Christ. Thought it was a sack. They're going to call it a shovel pass. And yeah, incomplete. That was a shovel pass. That is a pass. Incomplete. Lucky he did that, and lucky they're calling that a shovel pass. So 4th and 2, they are going to go for it. Bo Nix takes the snap in shotgun. He looks, he throws. Intercepted! Intercepted by the Jaguars on 4th and 2 at the 30. And the Jaguars get a turnover. 8:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. Jaguars take over from their own 30-yard line. Bo Nix has thrown a Bo picks. And both were right to him. Jesus Christ. Crafty says Denver has a player named after an... That's not an ass wiper. It's like an ass fountain, really. ELS in the chat says DUVAAAL. Jimbo says Jaguars still stink. First down for the Jaguars. They run it. It's only a 1-yard gain, but it runs the clock, Jacksonville. That's why you do that. 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Jaguars. Crafty says, named after a bidet. No wonder they're losing. Steelers, they score a touchdown. Apparently, it's a 50-yarder. 50-yard-ish, says Crafty in the chat. 22-10, the Steelers lead the Lions. 22 mentioned. There she is. Jacoby Myers, he gets the carry off to the left end. Again, only about a 1-yard gain, but it keeps the clock running. Jacksonville, that's what you're supposed to do. So 3rd and 8 coming up for the Jaguars here from the 32-yard line. Yes, Crafty, 22-10. Steelers lead the Lions. I already popped Taylor up for that. 3rd and 8. The crowd gets loud, trying to get a 3-and-out here from the Jaguars after the Bo picks. Trevor Lawrence steps back. He's getting rushed out of the backfield. Can't find anybody open. Pulls it down. He's going to run it himself. And he runs, and he gets the 10. He does a little Superman hop. And that's a first down for the Jaguars. And it keeps the drive and the clock running. Trevor Lawrence, what a clutch play. Rare I said that about Trevor Lawrence. But that is a clutch play from Trevor Lawrence to make sure he crossed that first down marker. First down, Jaguars. Ten-yard run. On a 3rd and 8, they needed to get that, and they do. They have it 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Hand off to Etienne. Etienne got to get about 4 yards. Gets to the 46-yard line. Keeps the clock running. Oh, Jacksonville, you heard me here on this stream saying, just, would you please, for the love of God, would you please run the ball? 2nd and 6. Trevor Lawrence under center. Takes the snap. They do a play action. Don't know why you're doing that. Trevor Lawrence is going to pull it down. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Statistically, it goes down as a sack.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Texans, they've scored a touchdown in their game as they take the lead now 22-14, waiting on the extra point. So until then, Taylor showed up. Hi, Taylor. Bye, Taylor. And the extra point is good. 23-14. The Texans lead the Raiders. 9-point lead with 7:41 left in that game. And Trevor has to use the second timeout for the Jaguars as the play clock was running down. 4:25 remaining in the fourth here, as they will be facing a 3rd and 6 after that sack. Pecan in the chat saying, I'm having second thoughts about the Broncos. Also, thank you for the Taylor heart. I do see that in there, Pecan. I've just come to know that emoji now as the Taylor heart. Crafty. Crafty's doing the whole mailman role play here. It's like, yeah, we just received an express delivery package from somebody named King. He says we should do something called run the ball. 3rd and 6. Trevor throws. That hits the ground, incomplete. And that stops the clock at 4:21. Trevor, slow to get off the ground. He's got a hole in the knee of his sock. Nick Bonito with the hit on Lawrence after he got the ball away. Clean hit, clean hit. And Trevor's limping a little bit. They seem to be looking at his toes, his feet, some are ankle maybe. That's not good if you're a Jaguars fan. And so the Jaguars will punt the ball away with 4:17, 16, 50. That's going to go bounce all the way into the end zone with 4:14. So the Denver Broncos take over at the 20-yard line. Crafty says the knee of his sock. Yeah, football socks go. Now, again, the knee of the pants should be on the knee, but these players these kids these days don't wear the pads where they're supposed to be worn. So, something happened with the Fox audio as we are now hearing Satan come across. Bo Nick steps back, looks, hand is hit as he throws, and that is lucky to fall incomplete, as that honestly should have been intercepted, to be honest with you, if we're being honest with each other. We are just hearing Satan on this channel here right now. I don't know why. Second down and 10. Bo Nix throws. That's going to be caught. Ingram gets the catch for only about 3 yards. 3rd and 7 coming up from the 23-yard line. Like, seriously, listen to this. That is Satan talking to me on that. Nix looks, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught. Gain of 12 yards on the pass. Cortland Sutton finally comes down with a pass. In today's episode of Will Fox Fuck It Up, ELS. Yeah, that's a weird. I don't know what's going on with the audio there at Fox, but the deep, deep sound of Satan himself talking to us here. I'll swallow your soul, I'll swallow your soul. Platu vrata dicto. Crafty says, something happened to the Fox audio. That something would be the Fox audio. So 3:27 remaining in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. They currently have it at their own 35. Bo Nix in shotgun. Takes the snap. Jaguars getting some pressure, but can't get to Nix. Nix throws. That's going to be caught by Sutton. "21-yard pass down to the Jacksonville 44-yard line. 21-yard pass. 1st and 10. Nix throws. Did he catch that? They're going to say, yes, he did. They say Franklin got the catch there, 7 yards down to the Jacksonville 37-yard line. .230 remaining in the fourth quarter. Nix takes the snap. Looks, throws over the middle, missed everybody. And the Jaguar is down. Looks like a non-contact injury. You don't want to see that. 3rd and 3 upcoming for the Broncos. Lewis, the injured Jaguar, down on the play. Jordan Lewis, cornerback, 9th season out of Michigan. Cardinals got a field goal, and they now trail the Falcons 26-19. In that game, Steelers lead 22-10 over the Lions. The Raiders, they've scored, and now it is 23-21. Texans lead by 2. I'm going to see if I can fix this particular stream. Okay, the audio seems to be better now. Ashton Genty. Genty's had quite the game today for the Raiders, as they are giving the Texans all they can handle, and it's really starting to make me question what's going on with Houston. Or should we be kissing the Texans' ass as we've been these last couple weeks here, struggling with the worst team in the NFL? I think I do, but it doesn't matter. I'm out of the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. Third and 3, Bo Nix looking, can't find anybody, scrambles to his right, looks. I think he stepped out before he threw that ball. I think he stepped out. Yes, he did. It's an 8-yard loss. They're saying he stepped out. And that makes it 4th and 11. Oh, no.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Bo actually kind of sacked himself on that one. 4th and 11 for the Broncos. Paul in the chat says Max Crosby has been playing out of his mind. Great for the Raiders. Texans have the ball. 5 minutes left. Texans with a 2 point lead, 1st and 10 from their own 17. Let's see what happens there. Crafty says, no, you don't mean oh no, you mean oh bo. Well, here we go. 4th and 11. This is essentially the game. 2:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Denver does have all 3 timeouts. Bo Nix in shotgun. No running back, obviously. Trips to his left. Takes the snap. Looks. Deep throw. Incomplete. If anything, it's intercepted. Incomplete. Out of bounds. And it's a turnover on downs. The Jaguars have the ball with 2:12 remaining. Denver has all 3 timeouts. Lions, they got a touchdown. It's now 22-17. Or is it touchdown or field goal? I forget. Was it 22-14 or 22-10? I couldn't remember. It was a touchdown. So the Lions got a touchdown. They are now trailing the Steelers 22-17 in that game. In this game, 1st down and 10 for the Jaguars from the 45-yard line. Etienne, he's going to get a yard. We got a flag down, however. It is holding against the Jaguars, but the Broncos decline it because they want less downs. They don't care about yardage. They need less downs. So 2:07 remaining in the fourth, 2nd and 9. Lawrence under center. 2:07 remaining, 2nd and 9. Hand off to Etienne. Oh, he almost gets tripped in the backfield, but he's going to bust it out to the left side, and he's got a 1st down. 1st down, Jaguars, but we've hit the 2-minute warning. Denver has not used a timeout yet. 1:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. Jaguars have 1st down and 10 from the Denver 43-yard line. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. It's getting down to nitty-gritty in the Mile High City. I like big titties. I don't know. I lost train of thought there. Speaking of big titties, Taylor Swift, my sweet and lovely Pepper Jack got that album in. I displayed it to everybody. Very nice. The Shiny Bug collection. Very nice. Anyway, Paul says, never mind. Raiders just committed the dumbest pass interference penalty after they had the Texans down for like a 3rd and forever inside their own 7-yard line there. Right now, it's 3rd and 5 for the Texans on their own 33 with 2:36 or so remaining. Paul says it was on a scale of 10 on the dumb scale because the ball was not catchable. Then it shouldn't have been a flag. That's on the officials. The officials shouldn't have thrown the flag. Fuck the refs. Hoodie and shirts available at bit.ly/staytunedmerch or the link in the top of the chat or in description below. Well, Texans keep the ball moving and the chain moving. 1st and 10 at the 50. You're not on camera. You're not close to being on camera. What do you need? You getting Taco Bell? Want some Taco Bell? Oh, yeah. That's right. You like the dipping burrito. There you go. I hate that that's what you got to do. I feel bad. You don't have to worry about it. No, don't worry about it. Whatever you want to do. I mean, it's just more work for you. I just feel bad about it. If I would have known that, I would have bought more of the tortillas because now I'm not going to have enough tortillas. No, you bought me one. You bought me one. I made sure to only buy one, and you only bought one. Paul in the chat says the Texans are now sealing the game. Yeah, it's Raiders had a chance, but then the Raiders are going to Raider. Raiders are always going to find a way to. The Raiders are who they are because of who they are. Hand off to Etienne. He gets about 2 yards on 1st and 10. It's going to be 2nd and 8. Broncos are going to use their first timeout. .154 remaining. 2nd and 8 for the Jaguars. Etienne gets the carry. Of course, he forces himself to get about a 3-yard gain. 3rd and 5. Broncos going to take their second timeout. Steelers get a touchdown. That's basically ending the Lions season right there. Steelers now lead 29-17. 6:41 remaining in the fourth. If that result holds, I mean, I don't think the Lions are mathematically out, but they're out of the playoffs. Let's be honest. I'd have to see what the playoff calculations are. Third and 5. Handoff to Etienne. Etienne's going to get maybe a yard. Maybe a yard if he's lucky. And that forces the Broncos to use their final timeout, which is what you're looking for, which is what you want to do. That's why you do that. 4th and 4 from the Denver Broncos 37-yard line. ELS saying that the Bears will clinch a playoff spot with the Lions' loss if they do indeed lose. Yeah, that was a big run by Warren there. I saw that for the touchdown. So here we go. 4th and 5 for the Jaguars. Are they going to kick a field goal or are they going to punt? Because it's on the 38. I mean, I think their kicker can make it. No, they're going to punt it. Jaguars are punting. 1:44 remaining. Broncos have no timeouts. Punt is away. And that's going to be downed by the Jaguars on the 2-yard line. Oh! So the Broncos down 2 touchdowns, no timeouts, on their own too. They got 98 yards to go, 1:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Whoo! Tall task, boy. I mean, if the Broncos come back from this one, then clearly somebody's writing a script at the NFL head office. So from the 2, Bo Nix steps back, looks, throws, incomplete on 1st and 10. 2nd and 10 from the 2. ELS in the chat letting us know that Warren's last 2 rushing attempts for the Steelers for a combined 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Broncos have won 11 straight games, 10 straight at home. That is all in jeopardy right now. Bo Nix almost gets sacked in the end zone. That's inbounds, keeps the clock running as the Jaguars make sure to push him backwards and out of bounds so that his forward progress was stopped inbounds. 4-yard gain for the Broncos. 3rd and 6. Clock is running. 106, 105, 104, 103. Bo Nix takes the snap on 3rd and 6. Throws over the middle. Is that a catch or not? They're going to say it is a catch. 11-yard gain on the catch by Bryant to the 17-yard line. Bo Nix takes the snap. Running for his life, runs to his right, looks, throws down the field. Oh! Incomplete. They're going to throw a flag now. Why are they throwing a flag? Separated them from the ball, yeah. Bryant got blown up on the play. What's the flag for? Brandon in the chat. They have picked up the flag. They say no foul. But you threw the flag, so it's part of the flag counter. But Bryant is injured on the ground. So that's going to be 2nd and 10. After that. Brandon Schutz, by the way, is who came in here. He says, hi, how are you doing? Doing great, Brandon. Thank you so much. Crafty says if the Lions lose, they'll need the Packers to lose all the rest of their games in order to make the playoffs. That's a good hit. I don't understand. Why are Broncos fans complaining? That's a football hit, baby. Paul says, because of the way today's games have gone, Colts would miss the playoffs even if they win out. So are they eliminated? Brandon Shut in the chat and says in the chat, says, how about those Houston Texans struggling against the Raiders? Barely going to be able to win by 2 points. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be like super excited if I'm a Texans fan. Texans in victory formation, says Paul, is they're going to just kneel it out and win by 2 over the Raiders. Over the Raiders! If anything, this game has made me really question the Texans and think about, I don't know if the Texans have it. Yeah, the defense is great, but if your offense is struggling that much and you let the Raiders put 21 points up on your defense, come on. That immediately now makes me worry about, the Texans might make the playoffs, but boy, I've lost a lot of faith in the Texans because of this game. Rarely does a win feel like a loss. This feels like a loss for the Texans. When did they played a game on November 2nd. So they played a hell of a long time ago. That was week 9. We're in week 16 already. We're the Jaguars have changed since then. I think we know that. The fact that the Jaguars won a 1-point game at that point, I think, was actually impressive. Detroit with a touchdown, so they're still alive. 4-11 in that game. 29-24, the Steelers still lead. 4:11 remaining. They're taking every precaution here with Pat Bryant on the field as they are putting him on the board there and making sure he's stabilized as he got blown up on that play. 2nd and 10 still coming up here. Irish says, I'm not worried about the Texans. I'm a little bit. Texans come away with the win. It's a final 23-21. They narrowly defeat the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. .31 seconds remaining here. Bo Nix takes the snap. Passes it to Bidet out of the backfield. He stopped inbounds. 23, 22, 21 seconds remaining. And the Broncos have given up. The Broncos quit. The Broncos aren't even trying. That's the end of the game. That's the last play. The Broncos just quit. And it is over in Denver. The Jacksonville Jaguars with a 14-point victory over the Denver Broncos in Denver. Holy shit. That's a way to make yourself be known, make a statement. The Jaguars, they didn't just go in there and sneak out a victory. They didn't just go there and, boy, we fought hard and we were able to go ahead and squeak one out. No, they went into Denver, the 12-2 Denver Broncos, and beat them by 14 points. I don't want to say that I was right, but I'm always right. I'm always correct. Never doubt me unless I'm wrong. Anyway, that game is gone final. So now the only game going on right now is the Steelers and Lions. Steelers still with a 29-24 lead over the Detroit Lions. And we'll see how that game ends up here. Is that a game I could probably watch that game on Fox, to tell you the truth. Let me see here. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, that's it. I don't have the ability to watch the Fox there, so I can't see that. Oh, well. Well, that game's going to be coming to an end anyway. That is fine. You can enjoy that. There's 3:12 apparently remaining in the fourth quarter. Steelers have a 1st and 10 on the Detroit 33-yard line. So they're in field goal range as it is. Granthy says, it only took you 10 weeks to be right, but I'm right. It doesn't matter how long it took. I'm right. I told you all. I told you they're frauds, and they just got whooped by the Jaguars by 2 touchdowns in their own home park. All right. I'm so right. I love being right. Am I right? I don't know. Up for debate, but I told you. I told you. And not only that, you lost by 14. Like it wasn't a close game. It wasn't a close game. It wasn't a close game. If it was a little bit closer, I'm gonna see how far the Broncos drop on this week's. Where were they? Let's go. Let's jump over to the vertical board. Where did I have them? There's the booty cheeks. Raiders might get out of the hell. I don't know. Might have to put the Giants back down in there. I had moved the Broncos up 2 spots, up to number 7. Ooh, Broncos might have to drop. Jaguars looking good where I had them. Looking good where I had them. I'm just saying. Aha. Interesting. We're going to see how this top 12 changes on Tuesday when we have the countdown here on Stay Tuned Sports. But for now, time for me to go take a little break. Let the voice take a little bit of a break here. And we'll be back in, about half an hour, 40 minutes, for Sunday Night Football, where the New England Patriots will travel down to the Charm City itself, baby, to take on the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium. Should be a good one. I hope you'll join us for that. If you liked any part of these broadcasts on either the 1 o'clock game or this one right here, please hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button, share the world, let them know that this channel does exist. It would be great if you did that. Thank you so much. And if you are brand new here, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and being monetized here, hopefully, on this great and lovely platform known as YouTube. Of course, donation station, merch store links down in the description below. So until 8:15, that's when we'll be back on here for the Patriots and Ravens. Until then, my name is King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. See ya in just a little bit.